Hey everyone, today I'm going to talk about the Magician. It's number 1 in tarot, and this time I'm going to try to just talk about it instead of reading off of a script, which is what I did last time. Speaking like this without writing it out first is really hard for me, but I think it comes across as a little more authentic. So I'm gonna try. The Magician. This is, for me, kind of a hard card to understand. I haven't really felt a deep connection with it until now that I've studied it. What I've read is that it's sort of this mysterious card that lies between the Fool, which is the beginning of the journey, and High Priestess. High Priestess. As you know, our intuition, divinity, whatever exists between those two is what the Magician is. But then also the Magician is like this cunning trickster that can't necessarily be trusted, and none of that really makes sense to me, especially when thinking of the cards chronologically. But in my study this past week, especially, what I learned about the Magician is that they're all about showing up. At least this is my interpretation. The Magician is about arriving for the show. It's choosing to participate in what is magical or what is spiritual or religious for you. It's choosing to participate in something other than the mundane. It's just that act of being there, of choosing the magic, of choosing the illusion. Some words I've written down is will or intention. And showing up, that's a powerful phrase for me because it actually happens to be my 2018 goal for myself, just to simply show up to whatever challenges me, and to not put any more pressure than that on myself, to show up to my art pieces, to show up for myself in times of bad mental health, show up for those around me, even if I'm not sure if I know how best to help them, to just show up to activist moments, service moments, even just socializing. For me, that's kind of hard sometimes, and so just show up. I don't even have to talk. It's just choosing to take that leap and to just be there. It's an exertion of will, and it's a setting of an intention just to be present with it. And of course, lots of magic, all sorts of wonderful work can arise from showing up. The card is the magician, and the magician usually puts on a performance, puts on a show for us. But I think to a large extent we put on shows for ourselves. Like, for example, performing a small ritual for yourself. So maybe that's just making a cup of tea and lighting a candle, or it's creating a spell, or doing some kind of solstice, or a celebration. Or I think the magician is involved in the choice to participate in that, in recognizing how holding ritual, creating these less mundane spaces for ourselves, is essential to our spirituality, essential to our good health, the health of our souls, the health of our minds, and that can look like all sorts of things. I think it's also choosing to participate in the illusion of art, in the illusion of storytelling, going to see a play or a movie, or reading an excellent book. It's sort of like the phrase suspension of disbelief. You know, it's saying this is irrational and yet it feeds me, and so I'm stepping up. I think there's one other thing I wanted to talk about with the magician, and it's sort of how I interpret the darker side of the magician. So going back to the magician as the creator of illusion, like I mentioned, creating an illusion could be telling an excellent story, it could be creating a bonfire with your friends, anything just a little bit magical. But I think that there's a lot in our world that creates illusions for us, almost non-consensually. I think one example is maybe television with commercials and the news, the way that news is produced under capitalism, the way that it's sensationalized in order to keep us watching and to keep us in a state of crisis over things that are being controlled by those a lot more powerful than us. And I think that kind of show that's put on, that kind of illusion, same with like commercials, casting a glamour on us, a glamour of, you know, this product is essential for our happiness. These are unhealthy illusions, and they're built into every aspect of our lives. It's hard to exist anywhere without either having the news sensationalized for us, or having our resources displayed to us in a way of unhealthy need, rather than a reciprocative need. So yeah, I think that it's just something to think about what illusions we're consenting to, what illusions we can maybe step away from, and which illusions we freely participate in because they feed us. I think maybe to balance out what I brought up as negative illusions, especially the news, because it's not as if we should be unaware of the suffering of our fellow humans around the world. But I think that we can take what we know about illusion, what we know about ritual, about creating these spaces for ourselves, and bring them to our communities that are maybe suffering, and use that as a way to heal. Yeah, I'm gonna recommend a podcast that I just started listening to. It's called Healing Justice, and it's different justice workers talking about how to work within leftist movements in ways that heal rather than ways that drain you. And they use different like meditations, spells, and they call them spells, which I really love, just to create these healthy illusions for each other. And of course, they're doing really beautiful work to help people through the trauma of fighting against the evil powers of the world. Yeah, and I just think it's really beautiful. I'll link that in the description for this video. Yeah, just to re-summarize, The Magician is about showing up. It's about choosing to participate in the non-mundane, in the divine, in the magical, and it's about being aware of which illusions feed us and which poison us. Okay, I'm just gonna let the music play, assuming that this isn't longer than what my video ends up being. I haven't edited it yet. I'm gonna link my my Instagram as well in the description. I do post these tarot cards on there, but I also work on other projects. I do gouache paintings that reflect on the radical imagination and our relationship with myth and with fighting for a better world. I also just do kind of traditional portraits. I think that's everything. If you're one of those few people who actually clicked on this and watched, cool. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a great day. Bye!